Garta Mataji, right?
Gita.
Oh,
Gita.
they're the same script. Okay. And we have Sangeeta Mataji doing the English. Is Sangeeta Mataji around? Maybe we'll just wait for a minute more. I can't see Sangeeta Mataji as yet. I think people are just joining in, so we'll just give them some time.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining in today.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Has Sangeeta Mataji joined us yet? Should we just start, and maybe is there any volunteer who can do the English, because Sangeeta Mataji is not here as yet?
See, according to my list, it's Chitra Lekha and Gita Mataji. Gita Mataji is doing the Sanskrit, but I don't know whether Rajshri has changed Chitra Lekha's recitation to another Mataji's. I'm not sure. Is Rajshri there?
Sorry, Mataji. It is Sangeeta Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sangeeta Mataji is not yet online, is she?
Sangeeta Mataji is not there?
No, I can't see her.
Mataji, then you can choose whoever is you want to choose. You can choose somebody.
Any volunteer, whoever wants to recite the English, please go ahead.
I don't mind, Mataji.
Mitali Mataji. Okay, Mataji. So let me just share the screen 1 minute. Share screen. Right, sorry, let me just... We start from verse 28, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Is the screen clear?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Can you make
Good,
little
thank
bit
you.
bigger, Mataji?
Try my
Please.
best.
Thank you.
Is this better?
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's it. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Sorry about this.
Sorry?
Sorry, Mataji, because it was Sangeeta Mataji was supposed to join, and I'm so sorry for all this.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Not a problem. And please, if everybody could mute yourselves so the two reciters, we can hear them clearly. Thank you. Okay, Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Verse 28. Yatha nadinam bhavamo vega samadrumeva bhimukha dhrivanti tatha tavami naralokavira vishanti vatrani abhivijvalanti.
As the many waves of the rivers flow into the ocean, so do all these great warriors enter blazing into your mouths.
Verse 29. Yatha pridiptam jvalanam patanga vishanti nashaya samrida vega tatheva nashaya vishanti lokas tavapi vatrani samarida vega.
I see all people rushing full speed into your mouths as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire.
Verse 30. Leliya sigrasha manasamantal lokan samagran vadanej veladvi tejo bhirapurya jagat samagram bhashastavogra pratapanti Vishnu.
O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all universe with your effluence. You are manifest with terrible scorching rays.
Verse 31. Akyayi me ko bhavanugrarupo namastu te deva vara prasida vijnatam ichami bhavantamatyam nahi prajanami tava pravartim.
O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances into you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is.
Verse 32. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Kalosmi Loka Kshaya Krit Pravarto Lokan Samhartam Iha Pravarta Riti Tvam Na Vishvanti Sarve Yeva Sthita Pratyanikishu Yodhya.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Time I am, the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain.
Verse 33. Tasmatvamuttishta yaso lapasva jitva satrun bhukshva rajyam samardham maya vitene heta purvameva nimitta matram pavasa vyasachin.
Therefore, get up, prepare to fight and win glory, conquer your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement. And you, O Sabbachachi, can you put an instrument in the fight?
Verse 34. Dronam cha bhishmam cha dayadattam cha karnam tathayan api yodaviran maya hatam svam jahima vayatista yudya shajeta sirane sapatnan.
Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies in battle.
Verse 35. Sanjaya Uvacha Etatstrutava Vachanam Keshvasya Kritanjalirvepamana Kiriti Namaskritava Puyaeva Krishnam Sagadagadam Bita Bita Pranamya.
Sanjay said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to the Lord Krishna in a flattering voice as follows.
Verse 36. Arjuna Vacha Stane Hrishikesha Tava Prakritya Jagat Prahashyati Anurajyate Cha Raksham Shibhitani Tisho Dravanti Sarve Namasyanti Chasida Sangha.
Arjuna said, O master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid, and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done.
Verse 37. Kashmachatena namiran mahatman Garyashi brahmanupiya dikarte Ananta devesha jagannivasha Tvamaksharam sadasattat param yat.
O Great One, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you? O Limitless One, God of gods, refuge of the universe, You are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation.
Verse 38. Tvamadideva Purusha Puranas Tvamasha Vishvasya Param Nidhanam Veta Shivedyam Chaparam Chadhama Tvaya Tatam Vishvamanantarupa.
You are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refuge above the material modes, O limitless form. This whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you.
Verse 39. Vayuryamnognir Varuna Shashanka Prajapatisvam Prapitamahascha Namo Namaste Sahasrakartva Punascha Bhuyopi Namo Namaste.
You are air, you are the supreme controller, you are fire, you are water, and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances into you 1,000 times, and yet again.
Verse 40. Nama purashtad atha prastaste namostute sarvata eva sarva ananta viryamita vikramantam sarvam samapnoshi tatosi sarva.
Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything.
Verses 41 and 42. Sakheti matva parashvam yat yuktam He Krishna, He Yadava, He Sakheti Ajnata Mahimanam Tavedam Maya Pramadat Pranayena Vapi Yajjavaha Sartam Asat Kratoshi Vihara Shayashana Bhujaneshu Eko Tavapi Uchutat Samaksham Takshamaye tvam aham aprameyam.
Thinking of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, not knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we relaxed, lay on the same bed or sat or ate together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses.
Verse 43. Pitasi lokasya chara charasya tvamasa pujascha guru gariyan natvat samosti abhidyakyaitonyo lokatrayepi aparitma pravava.
You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation of the moving and the non-moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is equal to you, nor can anyone be one with you. How then could there be anyone greater than you within the three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable power?
Verse 44. Tasmat pranamya pranidaya kayam prasadayetvam ahamishamidhyam piteva puttasya sakheva sakhyu priya priyaharsi deva sodham.
You are the Supreme Lord, to be worshipped by every living being. Thus, I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, or a friend tolerates the impenitence of a friend, or a wife tolerates the familiarity of her partner, please tolerate the wrong I may have done to you.
Verse 45. Adrishta purvam hishitosmi drishtva bhayena cha pravyatitham manome tadeva me darshaya devarupam prasida davesha jagannivasha.
After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O Abbot of the universe.
Verse 46. Kiritanam gadinam chakrahastam ichami tvam drashtum aham tateva taneva rupena chaturbhujena sahasrabaho bhaveshvamurte.
O universal form, O thousand-armed Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form, with helmeted head and with club, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form.
Verse 47. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Maya prasanena tavarjunedam rupam param darishatam atmayogat tejomayam vishvamanantamadyam yanmet vad anyena nadrishta purvam.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, happily I have shown you by my internal potency the Supreme Universal Form within the material world. No one before you has ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effluence.
Verse 48. Na veda yajna dhayanir na danir na chakriyabhir na tapo virugre evam rupa sakya aham nirloke drashtam tvad anyena kuru pravira.
O best of the Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine. No, for neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by pious activities, nor by severe penances can I be seen in this form in the material world.
Verse 49. Ma te vyata maja vimuda bhavo dristva rupam ghoram idim mamedam vyapeta bhiprita manas punastvam tadeva me rupam idam prapashya.
You have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now let it be finished. My devotee, be free again from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire.
Verse 50. Sanjaya uvacha Iti arjanam vasudevastatoktva svakam rupam darshayamasha bhuya ashvasayamasha chabitamenam bhutva puna somya vapur mahatma.
Sanjay said to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, having spoken thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-armed form and at last showed his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna.
Verse 51. Arjuna uvacha Jisti Vedamuna Manusham Rupam Tava Somyam Janardana Idanimashi Samvrata Sacheta Prakritim Gata.
When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, O Janardana, seeing this human-like form, so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind and I am restored to my original nature.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha Sundurdarshamidam Rupam Tristavanashi Mama Devapi Asya Rupasya Nityam Darshana Kanchana.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, this form of mine you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form, which is so dear."
Verse 53. Naham videna tapasa nadanena nachejaya sakhya evam vido drashtum drishtavana simam yatha.
The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by this means that one can see me as I am.
Verse 54. Bhaktyatva anyaya sakya aham evam vido arjuna jnatam drashtum cha tatvena pravistum cha parantapa.
My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding.
Verse 55. Mat karma karm mat paramo mat bhakta sangha varjita nirvera sarva bhuteshu ya samameti pandava.
My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contamination of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. Hare Krishna.
Om Tat Sat Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishastu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Vishwarupa Darshan Yogo Nama Ekadasho Adhyaya. Thank you very much. Thank you to both of you. So beautifully recited. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Gita Mataji, very well recited in Sanskrit, I must say. So I am going to take your help again during the course of this lecture.
Okay.
And Mitali Mataji, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Let me just share my screen. Sorry, I must do this. Can everybody see?
Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Okay, so we are going to continue with the chapter 11, the universal form. And today we are going to try and do 2 verses. Because what we want to do is, this is one section, from verses 35 to 45 actually is Arjuna's prayers. So we'll do 44 and 45 verse today. So just this chapter summary so far. So in the first few verses from verse 11.1 to 8, we see how Arjuna is requesting Krishna to show him his universal form. And then from 9 to 31 is Sanjay describing Arjuna's vision. And after seeing this, Arjuna obviously is bewildered, and he asks, "Who are you?" And so 32 to 34 is Krishna speaking. And then continues again with Arjuna's prayers. So Gita Mataji, if you are okay to recite the verse, the translation and purport for us, please.
Okay, sure. Tasmat pranamya pranidhaka. Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong. Tasmat pranamya pranidhaya kayam prasadayetvam ahamisha idyam piteva purtasya sakheva sakyu Priya Priya Harsi Deva Sodham. Translation. You are the Supreme Lord, to be worshipped by every living being. Thus I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, a friend the impertinence of a friend, or a husband the familiarity of his wife, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done you. Purport. Krishna's devotees relate to Krishna in various relationships. One might treat Krishna as a son, or one might treat Krishna as a husband, as a friend, or as a master. Krishna and Arjuna are related in friendship. As the father tolerates, or the husband or a master tolerates, so Krishna tolerates.
Thank you so much, Geeta Mataji. Is there another volunteer who wants to do 11:45? Or else I will do it, or we can, if somebody wants to do it, it'll be great.
I can do it, Mataji.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mataji. अदृष्टपूर्वं हर्षितोऽस्मि दृष्ट्वा भयेन च प्रव्यथितां मनो मे तदेव मे दर्शय देवरूपं प्रसीदा देवेश जगन्निवासा. Translation. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again from your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. Purport. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Arjuna is always in confidence with Krishna because he is a very dear friend, and as a dear friend is gladdened by his friend's opulence. Arjuna is very joyful to see that his friend Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and can show such a wonderful universal form. But at the same time, after seeing that universal form, he is afraid that he has committed so many offenses to Krishna out of his unalloyed friendship. Thus his mind is disturbed out of fear, although he had no reason to fear. Arjuna therefore is asking Krishna to show his Narayana form because he can assume any form. This universal form is material and temporary, as the material world is temporary. But in the Vaikuntha planets, he has his transcendental form with 4 hands as Narayana. There are innumerable planets in the spiritual sky, and in each of them, Krishna is present by his plenary manifestations of different names. Thus, Arjuna desired to see one of the forms manifest in the Vaikuntha planets. Of course, in each Vaikuntha planet, the form Narayana is 4-handed, but the 4 hands hold different arrangements of symbols: the conch shell, mace, lotus, and disc. According to the different hands these 4 things are held in, the Narayanas are variously named. All of these forms are one with Krishna. Therefore, Arjuna requests to see his 4-handed feature. Thank you, Mata. Thank you for the opportunity.
Who was reciting this?
Raj Shri.
Thank you. Okay, before we start a discussion on these prayers, let us do our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. He Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubheva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Okay. Okay, so quite straightforward, these two verses. What is happening is it is a continuation of how Arjuna is so bewildered and is kind of fearful to see this universal form, which on one hand is bright and effulgent like 100 suns, but it is also very ghastly because he can see all these warriors who are present on the battlefield of Kurukshetra entering into the mouth of Krishna and being crushed. So it is not an image which kind of brings feelings of love. It's almost like, you know, he is a bit bewildered and scared of this, and so that is why he starts offering these prayers to him. So in the verse 44, because we're doing two verses, so I'll just clarify. So in the verse 44, he says pranamya, means he is now offering obeisances by lying down in front of Krishna. And he goes on to say that, you know, he says, you are the supreme Lord to be worshipped by every living entity. Now, he's making this statement almost to say that you should be worshipped by every living entity. And what have I been doing? I have not treated you as the supreme Lord. I know in the past few lectures also we have been discussing this, that how Arjuna has been treating Krishna as a friend, as his cousin brother, you know, eating together and, you know, doing all activities together. So he has not treated him like the Supreme Personality. So in this chapter, various prayers where Arjuna is offering these various prayers where he is almost a bit like regretful of what he has done in the past, that seeing Krishna in this form and realizing that, you know, he is not just my friend or my cousin, but he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And at that time he starts to kind of feel, you know, thinking of himself that I am just a tiny soul, and here in front of me is the Supreme Personality. And the analogy sometimes used here is, or we can see from our practical mundane examples also, like if we see something really huge, like, you know, if we are seeing a big elephant suddenly in front of us, like the ant, we'll feel like that ant in front of an elephant. So when you see something very huge, there's so many emotions that come through you. You kind of start feeling nervous and scared and tiny. So this is how Arjuna is feeling at the moment. He's thinking, I'm just this tiny soul. But also what he is thinking is, here is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And currently on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he has become my chariot driver. And I am going to be giving orders to him. You know, move forward, go left, go right. How he is bewildered. He's bewildered by all these things that are happening around him. And at such time, then, he is asking for forgiveness from the Lord. Right? He's saying, and then there are in the verse, he says that he gives three kind of three relationships wherein forgiveness is very easy. So the relationships, first one he says is like how a father forgives a son. And we'll see in all of our lives, you know, we may not actually realize it and accept it sometimes, but the fact is that if our child does anything, you know, maybe by mistake, you know, he's hit me or he's hurt me, but we are always willing to forgive our children. But if the same thing happens by somebody else, some other child, then, you know, it invariably happens that we'll be like, oh, this is such a misbehaved child. The parents have not taught him the correct things. You know, it's so natural. And here Arjuna is asking Krishna that please forgive me like how a father forgives a son. And the fact is that Krishna is the father of this entire creation, isn't it? He says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, right? He is the father of this entire creation. And here then Krishna is begging him that like a father, please forgive what has happened in the past. And then again, the next point he says is like how amongst friends, things happen. There may be with friends, you don't need to be so formal, you don't need to be so careful, you can do things without being fearful. So same way, think of me as your friend and please forgive me like how a friend forgives a friend. And the third point he says is like how a lover forgives the beloved, please forgive what I have done in the past. Now, in the purport, Prabhupada is explaining how Krishna's devotees relate to Krishna in various relationships. So Arjuna had this relationship with Krishna where he was treating him like a friend, right? And Krishna has different kinds of relationships, parent, friend, madhurya bhav. Now the point is that seeing this universal form, anybody for that matter would forget their relationship. Now let's take the example of the Brajvasis. Yeah. Yashoda Mai also, when she saw this form, when Krishna opened his mouth and she saw the entire universe in his mouth, for a moment, she was quite perturbed. She was thinking that my son is not well, or I need to do some kind of protective prayers for him. I would go to the brahmanas, ask them to do something. And that is the reason why immediately Krishna covered her memory by Maya, by Yogamaya, because he does not want this kind of bhava. He does not want this fear or this kind of an impersonal bhava coming. What he wants, what he enjoys most with his devotees is the relationship where the love is just flowing without them realizing that here in front of me is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? And that is why in Vrindavan, Krishna could have all these different kind of relations with the Brajvasis, because they do not think of Krishna even for a second. They do not think of Krishna as God. And such a beautiful relation that although they see all kinds of magical things happening, like Krishna killing the demon when he was just a few days old, when he's killing Putana, then he kills so many other demons. But even then, the heart of the Vrajvasis, the mind may say something, the mind may say that he does not seem to be an ordinary child, but the heart does not want to believe anything. The heart only wants to see Krishna. He is my child, totally dependent on me. If I do not feed him, if I don't give him my breast milk, he will cry out of hunger. That is what the heart wants to believe. And that is the beautiful relationship. But here now what is happening is, let's look at this next verse. Arjuna also is a pure devotee of the Lord. And he has this beautiful, friendly relation with Krishna. But seeing this universal form, suddenly his bhav, there's mixed emotions. So there is this Aishwarya bhav mixed with Sakya. So although there is still the friendly relation, there is still the friendship, but suddenly there is this Aishwarya bhav after seeing this huge form. So on the one hand, Arjuna is very happy that, oh, my friend is the Supreme Personality. He is extremely pleased and happy to see the form. But at the same time, he is also very, very afraid. So Prabhupada says that Arjuna is gladdened, as a dear friend, he's gladdened by his friend's opulence. But at the same time, after seeing the universal form, he is also afraid. And why he is afraid? In the purport, Prabhupada says that he has committed so many offenses to Krishna out of his unalloyed friendship. This is Arjuna's thinking. Obviously, Krishna he has not taken any of his past activities, Arjuna's past activities, as offenses. But when you see somebody superior to you, when you see somebody like this, and here you're saying, you cannot, I don't think our material senses can even comprehend what Arjuna is seeing. So it is obvious that when he sees this, his emotions, although he still considers Krishna his best friend, his emotions are mixed with the Aishwarya Bhav. Now, Krishna does not enjoy this kind of relation with his pure devotees. What Krishna wants is the relation that he has with the Brajvasis, the pure relation where, he doesn't want his devotees to get this feeling of awe and reverence. That is not what Krishna enjoys. I just want to, I'm sure everybody, I don't know, most of you might know the prayers Damodar Ashtakam. And in that, there is this beautiful verse. I will just recite this verse and I will tell you the English and tell you why I'm saying this verse, okay? So it goes, Varam Deva Moksham Na Moksham Vadimva Nachanyam Vrineham Vareshadapiha Idam Teva Purinatha Gopala Balam Sada Me Manasya Virashtam Kimanir. So I will not give you the word-to-word translation, but what is being said here and what we are asking for is that I do not want any kind of liberation, or I don't want anything that you give me. All that I want is that this image where Mother Yashoda is running behind little Krishna in order to tie him up, and Krishna, the baby Krishna, is crying. He's got tears rolling down his cheeks, and the tears have mixed with the kajal that has been applied by Mother Yashoda when she decorated him. And so he's got black tears flowing down his eyes. This image of baby Krishna, fearful of Mother Yashoda, fearful that if she gets hold of me, she will hit me, because Mother Yashoda is running behind him with a stick. She will never do that, but that is just to, kind of create this fear. Now, can you imagine fear personified himself is here being fearful of Mother Yashoda, a little child. He's crying, he's running like any other normal human child. That is the image that a pure devotee wants to see. The pure devotee does not want to see this universal form because he's not able to relate to it on a personal level. Everything that Krishna is speaking in the Bhakti, in the Bhagavad Gita, eventually is drawing us to one thing only, and that is bhakti. That is devotional service. Now, when you are in this mood of awe and reverence, it is very difficult you still can do service, but Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita says that he has come here. He has come in order to spread this beautiful loving relation in the four main bhavas, which is the Sakhya, the Madhurya, the Vatsalya, and friend, parenthood.
Dasya.
Dasya.
Sorry, that's the one, Dasya. Because there are 5 main rasas we talk about. So there is Shanta also, but in Shanta ras, you're not kind of actively doing anything. So Mahaprabhu in the Chaitanya Charitamrita says that he has come here to spread these 4 main rasas, these 4 main relations that you can have with Krishna. And thus a pure devotee is not really interested in seeing this universal form because he cannot perform those kinds of services. Imagine seeing the universal form, will you feel motherly? You will not. And that is why the devotee only wants to see Krishna in his 2-armed form of Shyamasundar, holding a flute. That is what he wants to see. So in the verse 45, Arjuna then requests to Krishna that I am pleased to see this form. I'm very happy, but my mind is also disturbed. So please then, he says, can you please reveal your form as the personality of Godhead? And in the purport, Prabhupada is very nicely explaining that there are innumerable 400 forms, right? 400 Narayan forms. But the 4 hands hold different arrangement of symbols. So I haven't got many pictures, but I've just taken a few just to show you that depending on what symbols the hands are holding, there are different Narayan forms. And in the Bhagavatam, I've given the reference also, first canto, 19th chapter, the purport of verse 21. Prabhupada is explaining over here that there is the Paravyoma or the spiritual sky full of planets called Vaikunthas. Such Vaikuntha planets are also differently known as the Purushottam Loka, Achyuta Loka, Trivikrama Loka, Rishikesha Loka, Keshava Loka. So many different lokas are there. So there are so many different, and in the purport, this is exactly what Prabhupada says. He says, of course, in each Vaikuntha planet, the form of Narayan is 4-handed, but the 4 hands hold different arrangements of symbols: the conch shell, mace, lotus, and disc. So he's just giving the same reference. I thought this would be nice if anybody wants to refer back. I've given the reference also. One can read this, that how there are different Narayan forms, and how Arjuna, when he sees this universal form, he is disturbed, and so he requests Krishna that please come back, please show me your form as the personality of Godhead. Because as devotees, all that we want and all that we care for is to have a personal relation with Krishna and to be able to serve Krishna in that capacity, to have relation and serve in that capacity. With the universal form, there cannot be that kind of relation. There can be only one thing, and that is awe and reverence, right? So this verse from the Isha Upanishad, it is verse 15. Hiranmayena patrena satyashapihitam mukham tatvam pushan apavrunu satyadharmaya drishtaye. Translation: O my Lord, sustainer of all that lives, your real face is covered by your dazzling effulgence. Kindly remove that covering and exhibit yourself to your pure devotee. So again over here, the pure devotee is praying to Krishna. Yes, this verse is related to the Brahman effulgence, but why I have picked up this verse is just to reiterate that the pure devotee does not want to see the Brahman effulgence. He does not want to see the universal form. The only form that he wants to see is the 2-handed Shyamsundar form, wherein he can serve his beloved, wherein he can perform devotional service to the Lord, and that way show the Lord his love and get love in reciprocation from the Lord, right? Now, here again, there is this purport, Prabhupada has written this here just to reiterate. Undoubtedly, the Lord has the supreme potency to exhibit himself in multifarious forms. But the pure devotees of the Lord are interested in his forms as eternally exhibited in the abode of the Lord, known as the Tripad Vibhuti, or kingdom of law of God. The Lord in the Tripad Vibhuti abode exhibits himself in two forms, either with 4 hands or with 2 hands. The Vishwarupa exhibited in the material manifestation has unlimited hands and unlimited dimensions, with everything unlimited. As we have been discussing in the previous verses, that what Arjuna is seeing now, there is no beginning, no middle, and no end. It is unlimited. So after seeing everything, now the reason why Arjuna obviously is asking, our acharyas have explained, we've discussed in the previous verses also, is that in the 10th chapter, Krishna describes all his various opulences. And then Arjuna asked to see the universal form. There are many reasons, but one of the reasons which our acharyas explain is so that in future, nobody can say that I am God. If anybody claims I am God, then one should say, all right, if you're God, please show me your universal form. That is the exam. That is how one will know if this person is God or he is just lying. As Prabhupada would say, there were so many fake gods, right? So then the 11th chapter actually is leading up to the 12th chapter, which is, anybody knows what's the 12th chapter? I'm sure everybody knows.
Bhakti Yoga.
So the 11th chapter actually, if you notice, it is leading to Bhakti Yoga devotional service. Why? Because every verse, purport, translations, you will see that the pure devotee is praying that I do not want to see this form of yours. But to see the two-handed form, what do you need to do? That is, you need to perform devotional service. And it's at 8:37, I didn't realize, but just to end, I want to read very emphatic Prabhupada is when he says, this is from one of the purports, this is verse 27 from 14th chapter, and I will just read this 1 minute. Where would I just go? Yeah. So he says, by engagement in devotional service in full Krishna consciousness, he is immediately situated in the transcendental position. Therefore, the process of devotional service, beginning with hearing, chanting, remembering, the prescribed 9 methods for realizing devotional service, should be practiced in the association of devotees. And he says another thing, devotional service to the Lord is very simple. One should always engage in the service of the Lord, should eat the remnants of foodstuffs offered to the deity, smell the flowers offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, see the places where the Lord had his transcendental pastimes, read of the different activities of the Lord, his reciprocation of love with his devotees, chant always the transcendental vibration, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So the Bhagavad Gita is talking about devotional service and also giving us the exact methods of how we can perform devotional service, because there is nothing else. The main truth and the main essence of the Bhagavad Gita is, yes, to realize that who am I, what is my relation with Krishna, and once I have realized that yes, I am part and parcel of Krishna, what should my activities be then? And my activities should be to perform devotional service. And Prabhupada is very clearly saying there are so many ways of performing devotional service, and the easiest way is chanting of the holy name. Now, before I finish, I'm sure yesterday Divyanam Prabhu very nicely explained that from tomorrow, that is the 18th, the Purushottam month is starting. And it is said that any service, any devotional service that you perform during this month is multiplied thousands of times. So normally our acharyas advise us, and a lot of our Guru Maharajas ask their disciples to take a vrat, take a vow that to do something special for Krishna during this month. It could be anything that you're capable of. If, let's say, if somebody is chanting 4 rounds or 6 rounds, maybe I should increase my rounds and chant 2 more rounds. If somebody is not chanting at all, then this is the best time to start chanting. So make a vrat, say that, okay, from tomorrow I'm going to start chanting, or I'm going to start chanting extra rounds. And I'm sure Divyanam Prabhu did say that during the Purushottam month, we read the chapter 15 from the Bhagavad Gita, which we will be doing together. So as a group, in association of devotees, you're doing this already. So individually also make some vow. It could be anything. Like I said, it could be chanting extra rounds, because that is in this Kali Yuga, like Krishna has said, and our acharyas have explained, that Krishna has come down in the form of his name. And so the best way that one can serve the Lord and associate with the Lord is by chanting. And as soon as you start chanting, you will, they say the proof is in the pudding. So unless you start chanting, one will not see it. But once you do, you will realize that you do feel that connection with Krishna. So my humble request to all of you is that all of you individually can take whatever vrat that you want, whatever suits you, and please follow it for this month, and you will derive great benefit from it. You could start reading, the Bhagavatam. All of us had the Bhadra Purnima, and so many of us have either brought the Bhagavatam home or we already have it. This is the right times to start reading it if you haven't already read it. So I think I should stop here. Thank you very much, all of you. I've gone a bit over time, but with this 11th chapter, we recite the verses till 10 past 8. So there is very little time for us. So thank you very much. Any questions, any comments, any corrections?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. In this Purushottam month, what are the other things that a devotee can do along with like taking vrat or reading books and chanting? What are the essentials that devotee should do?
The thing is that there are lots of other activities which people do, but there is one message from Sachinandan Maharaj, and I will just read this so everybody knows. Yeah, he says that yeah, okay. So yeah, the Lord gave the minimum required daily observances. Okay, that is worshipping me, Sri Krishna, by chanting my holy names, studying Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, giving in charity, and offering ghee lamp. Right? So these were the minimum. But then Maharaj has said, and Maharaj said that I have added 3 more observances from the long list of auspicious activities to the list of the above 4 observances from the Padma Puran. And these are daily chanting of the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, since this chapter is called Purushottam Yoga, the yoga of the Supreme Person. Daily chanting of the Jagannath Ashtakam, because it glorifies the Lord of the Purushottam Kshetra, Jagannath Puri. And sprinkling sacred water over my head each day, either Ganga, Yamuna, or Radhakund. So this is what Sachinandan Maharaj, I don't know if you know Maharaj, His Holiness Sachinandan Maharaj he's really lovely. He interacts a lot with the Pandav Sena, and these are his 3 observances that one could add to the 4 that is already stated. If you want, I will reiterate again. So worshipping me, Sri Krishna, by chanting my holy names, study of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, giving in charity, offering ghee lamp. And then His Holiness Sachidanand Maharaj has added daily chanting of the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, daily chanting of Jagannath Ashtakam, and sprinkling sacred water over your head every day. Yeah?
Thank you, Mataji.
No problem.
Thank you so much. That's really helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Anybody else? Any other questions? Anything else?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, does the water has to be offered Krishna first and then we apply, or?
No. No. This water, which is purified water, if you have Ganga Jal or Yamuna or Radhakund water or whatever, this doesn't need to be offered to Krishna. This is just taken on your head because that is sacred water. So you don't need to offer it to Krishna. Like,
Thank you, Mataji.
we do some services and we do like an achman where we purify ourselves. We purify ourselves by taking this water. So that is not offered to Krishna first.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Anything else? Okay, I guess that's it then. Thank you very much for joining. And from tomorrow, very, very auspicious month. So very happy, auspicious Purushottam month to all of you. And may all of us together, with association of each other, try and progress in our spiritual journey. With the blessings of the Vaishnavas and with the blessings of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna,
everyone.
devotees.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you.